Hello, I'm Town Manager Joe Domalovic.
And I'm David Smith, Chair of the Hamilton Board of Health.
For the next few minutes, we're going to keep our masks off so you can hear us. We're recording this video because we need your help in limiting the spread of this highly contagious and deadly COVID-19 virus in our community. In the next 2 minutes, we'll explain how. And then we would be very grateful if you would please pass this message along to your family, friends, and neighbors. It is that important.
Whenever any of our residents test positive for COVID-19, information about the case is automatically entered into the state's infectious disease database, and our Town of Hamilton public health nurse is notified. From this point on, the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts dictate what happens. The law requires that our public health nurse contact the infected person, explain what's called infectious disease isolation protocol, and then gain that person's commitment to adhere to the protocol. Also, the public health nurse is obligated to ask the person to identify and obtain contact information for all of their close contacts, and that is people with whom the person has been within 6 feet of for 15 minutes or more over a 24-hour period while that person was infectious. During this pandemic, our public health nurses have at times been overwhelmed by the number of cases. And in fact, we experienced that in the month of January, largely because of social gatherings over the holidays. When this happens, the Massachusetts Department of Public Health and our Board of Health have authorized our public health nurse to utilize trained contact tracers, many of whom are nurses themselves and residents of our community, to do the outreach by giving them the authority to gather information needed to stop the spread of the virus and to educate people about their isolation and quarantine requirements. Joe?
This is where we are completely dependent on the courtesy, goodwill, and honesty of our residents, not to mention their legal obligation. A person who tests positive may unwittingly have infected many other people. The only way we can find them, help them understand they are at risk, and attempt to control further spread of the disease is through the full cooperation of our residents who are contacted by our public health nurse or authorized contact tracers.
I'm making a personal plea to you to spread the word to all of your family members, friends, and neighbors to please cooperate fully and politely with our public health nurse and contact tracers when they call you, email you, text you. Only when they get your prompt and full cooperation can they chase down the virus and help stop it from spreading to someone who could get really sick. The health and yes, the lives of our residents depend on your cooperation. Joe?
I'm sure you've heard about the huge number of positive cases right here in Hamilton after the holidays. The only way our community can regain some measure of control over this virus is to strictly adhere to all the practices we know work, like limiting gatherings, wearing masks, washing hands, and socially distancing, and to be fully cooperative and polite with our public health nurse and contact tracers when they contact you. All of our residents must work together to get this virus under control so we can get back to being the kind of community we so value. Thank you, and stay safe.